What's going on, you guys? I am finally back. I feel like it's been a little bit. I feel like it's been a minute, and in reality, it's only been a few days. But my weekends, I am typically just slammed with work, and when I have a minute to myself, I like to sleep during that time, so I don't get around to much Planet Coaster and/or other theme park related things. And with it being so gorgeous, where I'm at right now, it is about 62 degrees. I've got spring fever like a bitch. You guys, it's insane. I just want the damn parks to be open. So, this project, I say I'm proud of a lot of things on this channel, but I'm incredibly proud of this and how it turned out. But you know what would make me even more proud? If you just took 5 seconds to subscribe to the channel, to comment on this video, to like the video, do whatever you gotta do. Any sort of engagement on the channel helps immensely. It helps make me get out to more reach viewers and more people see the content, this, that, or the other thing. So I would appreciate the hell out of that because, I'm a whore and I have to plug for this kind of stuff. Not a whore in the sense of sexual stuff. I actually have very strong opinions on that, but I'm going to try and stay on topic with this video because I think there's a lot to discuss. So this is kind of the international street of Valley America. Like I said before, I'm really taking my time and kind of starting at the front and working towards the back of the park and just focusing on smaller details because I looked over Appalachian Adventure a little earlier today and I'm grossed out by a lot of the things in that park. I'm putting that on hiatus for a little bit just because I'm not happy with a lot of things, and after I just entered a full grind mode for this build and I really liked it. I really like how this all turns out. A lot of this video is trial and error, but that's necessary to evolve your creative skills and everything. So, App Adventure is on hiatus for the time being. I will go back to that eventually and fix up a lot of things and scale it and make it look nice and more realistic. So, but for now, it's really going to be this and the Hershey 2020 Coaster Project, and I have a lot of things I have to go fix on that regarding the layout, but I'll discuss that in that video. So, what I did here is I started the right side of this. It's not International Street like you would find at Kings Island or Kings Dominion. It's very heavily inspired by that, but it doesn't have, the certain kind of theming from around the world or whatever. This is going to be more or less kind of an Americana kind of vibe or whatever and have an Americana kind of feel. But I went into Google Maps, hopped on Street View. Again, shout out my guy, Shadow Phoenix, for, instilling that into my head in one of his videos. It has been a lifesaver and really, really helped out. But I went in and started on this right side. And this building right here is very heavily inspired by the Starbucks building at Kings Dominion with its... I'm learning more about my building style, and that's what I need to do. I start out with kind of an outline of what a real building is in real life, and then take it from there and see where my creativity takes me and how it flows and everything. And I think that is most definitely the move from here on out. So if you're familiar with Kings Dominion, and I'm sure some of my viewers are because you know me and you are from the area and you go to Kings Dominion, you'll recognize this at least very loosely. So working on this, I really put an emphasis on the smaller details and scaling for sure, scaling 100%. And I did go in with the idea that I'm going to do a lot of vibrant colors like the light green and the teals that you see here. I eventually do scrape that and get rid of that just because I want it to be a little bit more subtle and kind of deck it out with American flags and swag like that. Because the idea is you enter the park and you have two paths you can go along the lake or the reservoir, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be cool fountains just like at Kings Dominion or Kings Island. And it's going to be Liberty Way or Patriot Avenue. A lot of Americana kind of things going on, and it'll be cool. So, as you'll see in this time lapse, it's just a lot of trial and error and doing one thing, deleting that, and then redoing it, and deleting that, and then redoing it again. And I think showcasing that is really it gives you an inside perspective on how my building style is. And I'm learning that if I start with the facades of the building and make sure the scaling is right, and then go and hone in on the little details, it turns out 10 times better. So that's what you're going to be seeing here. And, I'm just very stoked with how this has turned out. The finished product, I'll show it in the real-time overview at the end of this video. But it's cool. It's good. I'm incredibly proud, and I'll keep saying that. And if you didn't listen the first time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please, for the love of God, do it. You don't have to. I'm not going to make you do shit. But at least stick around until the end or jump to the real-time overview to kind of see what this is entirely going to look like. If you can't bear 10 more minutes of time-lapse, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm going to experiment more with just doing overview videos opposed to time-lapse videos and all that good stuff. Just to see, how the viewer retention rate does, because that stuff is important, I hate to admit it, but you kind of do become enslaved to certain, things that you need to do and create certain content and videos to maintain some sort of, I guess you could, as the kids call it, clout. I think I'm using that word correctly. To maintain, a certain audience and stuff like that, and make sure your video is getting recommended by YouTube and all that stuff, because, communists, and they basically have the ultimate say in what gets shown and what does not. So I feel like theme park footage and gameplay footage is a fairly safe market to be catering towards, but with some of the offensive opinions I have, maybe not, but I'm trying to keep that on the DL. So yeah, not too much to comment on here. It's just I wanted to put an emphasis again on detail and a lot of protruding angles and different roof styles and different colors and everything. Right now, what you're seeing on screen is I really feel like there was too much of a red brick color. I wanted to, I want to maintain some sort of continuity and consistency with the style, but I didn't want it to all be red. So this building eventually gets changed and everything, and we add this cool little tower. And I'm mainly using the stucco pieces and the brick pieces just to kind of, like I said, maintain continuity and all that good stuff. So, I don't know. It's just been this. I'm very proud with how this has turned out. I actually had a ton of fun building this, and that's weird because lately I've been kind of not wanting to build. I don't know why. I just kind of had a stunt there where I was like, I don't fucking feel like it. What's the point? It's just, it's boring, it's jaded. I'm very tired of my building style. And this was refreshing. I don't know what it was. I woke up this morning fairly early. I've been waking up earlier just because, like I said, this weekend, I work a lot on the weekends and I just get exhausted and I fall asleep early. And then I wake up early, and I feel like that's a very appropriate thing to do. And to start your day is to get up early and attack the hill. And that's kind of what I did with this. I was like, you know what? Damn it, I feel like building. I really feel like building. I just started out with that corner and finished up with this. And again, I'm going to constantly be going back and improving and changing things up as this progresses, because I want the finished product to be really good. Like, I want it to be good. Again, it's not going to be as good as some of the other guys out there, but, I feel like this is I wish I was doing this earlier because I could show you guys, and I didn't delete some of the old parks I had, and I could show you guys how my buildings used to look. And they're just ugly. I mean, there's some of that in Appalachian Adventure. If you want to go check out some of that footage, you can just see how vastly different this building style and process is compared to my old building style. So, yeah, that's that. I mean, I really don't have a shit of some stuff to say here. You do see the Eiffel Tower. That isn't mine. Shout out to Echo Pexe, Echo P-E-X-E on the Steam Workshop. I had to kind of go down some rabbit holes to find out who created that, because I did pull that from a King's Dominion recreation on the Steam Workshop, and I don't remember who even made that, but he did put it in the description that it was Echo Pexe, P-E-X-E. I think that's the proper pronunciation. Don't come at my throat if you are watching this. I am a theme park dork, not a fucking English professor, so cut me some slack. But there were some modifications I did have to do to that just to kind of make it fit, and get it under 4,000 pieces so I could save it as a blueprint. And I'll do a video where I work on that and modify it some and add some cool lighting and everything, but I'm not going to touch that just yet. It's really only there to kind of serve as a focal point and an end point for this International Street inspired area, because I didn't want, like I said, I'm starting at the front and working back into the park, but I needed something to kind of be at the end of it so I knew exactly how much space I was working with and everything. And, how long the paths need to be, how wide they need to be, and all that good stuff. So, yeah. But building this really makes me miss the parks, in particular my current stomping grounds, King's Dominion. That might change here in the coming months, but that's personal life stuff and power moves that are not necessarily your guys' business. So if I feel it's appropriate at the time to talk about what I'm doing, I will. But as of right now, I'm chilling, I'm working, and I'm building. And I really can't complain. Except, again, like I said earlier, it's so freaking warm where I am. I definitely don't want to be pent up inside doing this all the time, so I'm very excited to link up with some of my buddies, both in-state and out-of-state, to hit the different parks and do a lot of fun filming and stuff there. Definitely not going to become a vlogger. That is cancer, but I think if I had a camera with me when we get shithouse drunk and ride B&M Giga coasters and all that good stuff, I feel like it'd be mildly entertaining to watch. So that's a little something I'll be working on come March. I'll be down at Carowinds for opening weekend, so if you're watching this and you hear that and you're going to be down there, hit my line, hit my social media. It's all plugged on the channel, and let me know. It'd be cool to meet up with you guys. I already have talked with a bunch of people. I actually ran into somebody at a Chick-fil-A a couple towns over that I knew from social media, just this kind of, theme park coaster enthusiast nerd community. I was like, dude, you're Thomas. What's up, man? And we just started chatting. He's like, yeah, I'll be down at Carowinds. I'm like, shit. All right, let's link up. Let's have a good time. So that's that. And like I said earlier, I did change, and you can see I did change up the colors of the brick on two of those buildings just because the constant running of red was gross. So, but I darkened the green a little bit, and the teal is, I think I kept that the same color, but I think the dark green and teal are kind of the contrasting colors that are going to be consistent throughout this, at least this part of the main street, this half right here, and all that good stuff. So we'll be hitting the real-time overview in 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, nailed it. So here we are, real-time overview. I did do a lot of work. Still getting over a cough, my God. And I think I talk too fast where I run out of breath. Maybe, fuck it, I'm not going to talk about that. But I did eventually, this is more or less the finished product. I do need I did some Terra painting, I guess you could call it. Used the paint tool to kind of build or paint an outline for a parking lot. And I built this picnic pavilion, put some signs up on these two buildings. And this picnic pavilion's cool. I think if I'm being practical, I think it's a little small for how big this park is going to be. So I might have to expand this. Not entirely sure yet. I'll worry about that when I get into doing some more parking lot work, or car park if you're over in Europe viewing this. When I do more car park work, then I will address that. There's a backstage area that I'm going to be working on. You see that painted black. Copy and pasted one of those buildings, finished up these awnings, and I'm not sure what that building is going to be. It's just kind of there to fill space, and none of them are functional. They're just all for show. And I originally had a restroom off to the side right next to that building, and it just looked kind of weird and out of place because most restrooms are connected to another bigger building. So that's what I did here, built this restroom, fully functional, all the good stuff. There are only 2 restrooms, so sorry if this park isn't gender inclusive, male and female, but you can take that up with customer service because that building is over to the left. I'm not going to be dealing with that crap. So, yeah, once I enclosed this plaza, I did realize it's a little small. I don't think I'm going to go in and fix it and make it bigger, but I do think it's a little small. But yeah, as we pass under the metal detectors into the park, the Value America sign is there again. I'm going to do some cool kind of foliage work and, landscaping work around that, make it look really cool, kind of like you would see at King's Dominion or Busch Gardens. And to the right, you have the lockers. I got to doll that building up a little bit. It does look kind of plain right now, but it is functional. Actually, no, that isn't functional. I'm sorry. It's complete-ish for now. And that big, ugly brick wall, I'm probably just going to do some signage work on there or whatever. Because I remember as a kid, it's one of those weird flashbulb memories that you have. I think everybody has these. But I remember being at King's Dominion when it was still Paramount, and being at the exit of the park, end of the day and all that stuff, and there were just a ton of signs for the ride. So I think I'm going to kind of do that over there. And I was like, shit, I was like 8 years old. I don't know how I remember that. But getting back on topic, here is the semi-completed first half of the right side of the International Street area. I think this is going to be Patriot Avenue. The other side will be Liberty Way. I'm not entirely sure. Once I finalize everything and put in all the Americana swag and all that stuff, then I'll decide, but I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, I'm very proud with how this is turning out. It looks cool. It looks like King's Dominion, from afar. I'm not entirely sure if there's a lot of work I can do with finer details, just because I don't know if I'm that advanced a builder yet. But it looks good. It looks cool. It's it's getting there. I'm sorry I didn't get around to building a coaster or a ride. That will come eventually, and I already have ideas for what I'm going to do with that. But in the meantime, it's just going to be a lot of building, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm out. I got some stuff to do today, but I am going to jump back on tonight and do more building and hopefully have another video out by tomorrow because I need to constantly be putting out this content. And I'm actually enjoying it again. I'm having a really good time with this. So hope you guys enjoyed. It's been real. It's been fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. I'll be back. Don't worry. I ain't going anywhere. And yeah, I'm out. Love you guys.